Well, happy Monday, Boise State fans. Welcome on in. Bronco Nation News live here at BroncoNationNews.com, broadcasting on the social media channels of both Bronco Nation News and KTIK today because it's Mondays with Mallory. John Mallory, host of Prater in the Ballgame, 3 to 6 weekdays. You see him right there on the screen. We welcome him on in. And Johnny, good weekend, man. A fun weekend. We're down to 2 teams in the tournament. We got Emmanuel Akot entering the transfer portal. We got Austin Bolt finally making his debut with the media today. We got the last week of spring practice. We had me waiting out in the rain for 15 minutes for my kid's bus that was late. But a lot going on today, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, BJ. Yeah, it was interesting to drive in today. I drive in from I-84 downtown to the RowPaint.com studio here, and it was wet. It was a little slower, but I think the Valley needs it. I know my front and back lawn need this rain, so I'm welcoming that. Nice to be safe under the roof right now and ready to talk some sports with you on Monday. And I see your KU hat. I know you're an alum. I know you're a big KU fan, obviously, and what an opportunity it is for you tonight and your fan base to get to watch a national championship game featuring your team and try to cut down the nets for the first time since 2008. A game, by the way, I believe that you covered.
You got it when you have the diploma, by the way. I mean, it's real, right? I mean, I'm a graduate. I paid this school money, and yeah, I mean, you know it from waking up on Super Bowl Sunday with your Seahawks. I mean, there's just something different as a sports fan, Johnny, when you wake up and your team's playing for a championship on that day, right? I mean, it's a special feeling. It really is, and we've been in the Final Four a couple times. I'm really excited for my son, who's 7, and just kind of getting into sports and has kind of figured out the whole bracket thing. And I've watched the last couple games with him. And so, it was cool a couple years ago when the Blues won the Stanley Cup to have that moment with them, but he kind of didn't really get it. And now I think if KU can win tonight, that would be pretty cool feeling. So yeah, it's everybody has their team, their moment. And when you wake up or go to bed the night before and your team's literally playing for a championship, a game 7 of a World Series or NBA Finals or the Super Bowl or in this case, the championship game. Man, Johnny, tickets are like $30. I wish I could have got down to New Orleans somehow for tonight.
$30 just to get in the building.
It was 400 to get in on Saturday, and then everybody leaves, I guess, now that Duke's out and everything else. Mm-hmm. And StubHub, they're down to like $30, man. Gosh, I wish I could have been there. But
if you lived in driving distance, you probably would have pulled it off, Rains. But
Kurt, folks are chiming in. Rock Chalk Jayhawk tonight. This is actually an old school hat. I don't wear very much, Johnny, but I actually got this hat in college about 15 years ago. The old school hat there. But man, we're down to 2, and again, we're going to talk Akot. We're going to talk Bolt. But the Final Four was memorable. Obviously, over the weekend, you had the whole Coach K North Carolina thing, and you had some North Carolina fans upset that a lot of the Duke players left without shaking their hands. You had all kinds of controversy. You had Coach K's final, 2 of his final 3 losses, to UNC. I never really had the chance to cross paths with Coach K much. Saw him in a couple of recruiting AAU tournaments, things like that, but I never talked to him. Don't really know him at all, obviously, and it's just what I see as persona in the media and on the interviews and things like that. But heck of a career, but I'm sure, I don't know. I saw somebody say they think he might still come back, that he's not going to go out like this. I don't know.
He's done. John Shire's going to get the program. I had the pleasure. I asked Coach K, I think, one question. I saw him at the PK 80 tournament in Portland, and that certainly, as a reporter, a question that you repeat in your head 4 or 5 times before you ask it, right? It's Coach K over there. Anyway, I mean, storybook career. Actually, I wouldn't even say storybook career. His career was a saga, right? Coach K. It was a legendary saga of basketball. It certainly didn't have a storybook ending, though. And not every career does, right? That's not a storybook ending, having to lose to that team on that stage. Look, I get accused all the time on Idaho Sports Talk of being way too hyperbolic, being the ultimate Shawshank Redemption prisoner of the moment in this thing. And yeah, part of it, hey, I host a sports show for a living. I want to get people fired up to want to hear and talk about sports. But for this game, for Duke, North Carolina, BJ, what do I have to do? How much more do I have to bring to the table to say how that game maybe wasn't in a category of an all-time bona fide absolute classic? It was. As I say, all the food groups were represented in that. Like, I don't think I'm being hyperbolic coming on this right now and saying, dude, that was one of the best Final Four games I've ever seen. and I watched the whole damn thing. I wasn't checking my phone, like I don't even care about my phone. I was too into the game, right? Sometimes in a boring game, you'll check your phone, you'll do Twitter. That game, hell no, I didn't even know where my phone was. The shot making, the coaches, obviously the storylines with those two programs, that was a game that I'm going to remember for as long as I'm alive and covering sports. I don't think I'm being a prisoner of the moment, BJ, saying that was one of the best college basketball Final Four tournament showings that I've seen in my lifetime. And I don't think I'm being, like I said, a prisoner of the moment. It was an absolute classic. It delivered every which way. And wow, I hope tonight is even a fraction of that, because we're going to get a mega treat there too.
Oh, I wouldn't mind a 20-point, easy KU win. I don't need a but, but I don't think we're going to get that. But I was pretty surprised. I thought Duke was going to win. I was very confident. I told you that. I really thought there was no chance that Duke was going to lose again to UNC, and they were up, 6 or 7 points there at multiple times in the game and just couldn't put them away. And then UNC came back and. Caleb Love, Caleb Love, who is a St. Louis native, so it's hard not to pull for him. Hit that big three, but I mean, even with a minute left, Duke was winning by 1. So I mean, it was a back and forth game. The lead changed in the final minute. Yeah, it was a classic. And now you get UNC Kansas. You get the last two schools Roy Williams coached. He obviously recruited all these North Carolina players. I would assume he's a little partial to North Carolina tonight, but obviously, took Kansas to the Final Four and did a lot of things there in 15 years, then goes on to UNC. So that's got to be a unique experience for him being in the crowd tonight. I saw Paul Pierce, the Truth, was back speaking to the Kansas team last night. Saw somebody say maybe Michael Jordan will make an appearance tonight for UNC.
I think so. Yeah, I'd expect him to be there. Michael's too cool to go to the semifinal game. It's crazy, but I didn't see him there. And if Michael's in the building, you're going to see him, right? But I think he's there tonight for Natty Monday. He usually is when Carolina's on this stage. So I expect to see his airness in the crowd tonight, and all the number of great KU players as well. I mean, I like the Cinderella-less Final Four and national championship game. I love Cinderella the first couple rounds, but for these games, give me the blue blood national powers with, typically future NBA guys and Hall of Fame caliber coaches and schools that put big time money into basketball. This is what I like to see. And yeah, of course, I don't have any plans tonight. I know you don't have any plans tonight. We're watching this damn game.
Kurt says Duke basketball, a bunch of spoiled sports. I don't know if they, there was a whole controversy. I don't know if you saw that about them not shaking hands, but who cares?
I don't even care, dude.
UNC was over there celebrating. They didn't exactly go right to the handshake line either. So it goes both ways. Hey, before we get into some Boise State talk, Johnny, I do want to make a cool announcement here that we are open for business. The first annual Bronco Nation News Golf Tournament, June 3rd at Timberstone. You can sign up now. Just go to BroncoNationNews.com, and there is a golf tournament tab at the top. Just go to BroncoNationNews.com, click on the tab at the top for golf tournament. We opened it up to subscribers a couple of days early, and we've got some foursomes, not a ton, but we've got some foursomes open. So if you're thinking about doing this, there's a discount for subscribers. It's going to be a lot of fun. You get breakfast, you get lunch, you get drinks out on the course. There's going to be a Q&A afterwards. You can see Prater and Johnny doing their show out there. And we got some really cool special guests. We can announce that Coach Leon Rice will be on hand doing how about this, Johnny? Yeah. Coach Rice is going to be doing a celebrity shot on a par 3. So every group, if you're in this tournament, you get to meet Coach Rice, get a picture with him at the tee box, and then if you make a donation to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission, he'll take a tee shot for you on the par 3. So kind of a fun thing that Coach Rice wants to do with you there. And Coach Rice does have a hole-in-one to his name. So he's not, so you got a chance to maybe do that. And some other coaches will be there. Kaylin Downs, women's golf coach. You got Dan Potter, men's golf coach. And then Tim Duryea, Mike Burns, some other folks. So it's going to be a fun event out there with some local connections. And, again, we're going to raise some money for charity. We're going to have some fun. And it's, again, Timberstone Golf Course on June 3rd. So just go right now, BroncoNationNews.com, and then click on the golf tournament tab. And the signups are there. You can also email me at BJ Ray. Actually, it's just Rains at BroncoNationNews.com for more information. We did have some big news over the weekend, Johnny. Let's get to it. Emmanuel Akot not only declaring for the draft, but he is entering the transfer portal. Now, I've been told by multiple people, I guess you could say connected to the program, that it's not a sure thing that he's gone. He's just going to explore all of his options, as he said in his statement. Final season of college. That's the rule now with the transfer portal. You can put your name in there and see what coaches get back to you. See who wants you. See if you have a better option to move up. Some coaches say, you know what, if you want to go in the transfer portal, see ya. We don't want you anymore and won't let you come back. I don't know if Leon Rice is that kind of coach where they hope he stays and they try to convince him to stay. You do see guys go in the portal and end up coming back to their same school. But what do you make of Emmanuel Akot? I think not surprising that he declared for the draft, but I think it was surprising to most of us that he also put his name in the portal.
A scale of 1 to 10, how surprised I am that his name is in the transfer portal. 10, biggest surprise ever. 1, not the least bit surprised. I think I'm at an 8 on this. That surprised me that much. In the whole, well, you can test your options now. That's the new culture. I can't imagine Leon Rice and his staff are okay with this. I mean, it makes, my girlfriend can't come up to me and say, ball game, babe, love you. But I'm going to create a profile on, farmersonly.com, and I'm going to see what men get back to me as far as dating. And you know what? If I find a better option than you, honey, I'm going to date this other guy. But if I don't worry, babe. I'll be back with you, and let's keep this going. Like, that's not how life works in some instances, man. And that was disappointing for me for E-Man, because I get it. Test the pro waters. He's Canadian. He's not an American-born player, so he has other options to play for in basketball than the standard prototypical American-born player does. It's easier to play in a professional league if you're not American, because typically, BJ, a lot of those leagues over there have quotas for how many American players you can have on your team. E-Man doesn't go against that quota. But to think he's like, hey, maybe he's missing Tucson. Maybe he missed having the ribeye for dinner instead of the steak at the training table in Arizona. He misses the PJ to and from everywhere. And maybe he has this itch to get back to that type of level of basketball, which is just weird, because E-Man's going to play what if he comes back? He's going to play 37 minutes a night. The ball's in his hands. He's going to get to do whatever he wants. This fan base loves him. They're growing to love this program more. People are going to be more excited entering next year's basketball season than any year that I've been in town covering this team. There's just a lot to like with what they're building, what they've built culture-wise with this team. And Dagenhart's going to be back for a sophomore year. For him to be like, you know what? I want to see if there's something better than that. But don't worry, Boise State. If I can't find anything better, well, I'm going to come back and I'm going to hug everybody, and we're going to act like this never happened. To me, it doesn't play well, man. And okay, that's the culture. Everybody's got options now. They're taking advantage of them to what's going to be best for me right now. It's totally me before team now. I'm not saying it's going to ever go back. It probably won't. But I saw that, and I guess if I'm a Boise State fan, I would have been disappointed. Really, this isn't there. There might be something better for you out there, and you're going to test it. But don't worry, you're going to keep us sitting there in the corner. If you don't find a prettier person to dance with at the dance, you're going to come back to the corner and you're going to ask us to have this dance with you. Take a hike is what I would be saying.
Jordan says this is more like employment than Johnny's love life. All options being open is smart.
Okay. Yep. But as your former employer, they're going to say, oh, yeah, okay, go find another job. And if you don't find it, yeah, come on back. We'll love to have you. To me, it sets a bad precedent with your former employer. And no, I'm sorry, dude. My love life is up there with anybody's employment.
Perry says if he's
analogy I had, but good point. Better analogy from that guy. But
Perry says if he's looking, he's probably leaving.
I mean,
so you're saying Leon Rice shouldn't take him back?
No,
you're saying if Leon wants him, sorry, man, see you. If he wants to come back,
Leon right now, I'm looking for other people to dance with too. I'm looking in that same transfer portal that E-Man is now in, and if I find a better option than E-Man or something that I know I'm going to have signed, still delivered, then I look at that option. Now Leon and his staff are looking at their options too, and maybe they come back and E-Man comes back and everything's cool again, and no one, hey, don't worry, he tested it. He wasn't really ever going to leave anyway. He'll say something like that. Okay, we're good. Let's hug it out and let's try to win another Mountain West championship. To me, it's just the optics of it, BJ. It just doesn't play all that well for me. Just a me thing. I get it. People are like, I'll test my options professionally. You'll test yours. But if I'm going to do that, I'm not going to go to JP and say, hey, dude, I'm sending my resume to radio stations in San Francisco and Dallas and New York and Seattle and Denver and Portland and San Diego and Phoenix. And if any of those guys get back to me, hey, JP, I love you, babe, but I got to go. I got to do what's best for me. But if not, if none of those places want me, don't worry. I'll be right back in the rowpaint.com studio on Monday and we can hug it out. Like, I don't think that looks good. Anywho.
Well, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but, Marcus Shaver's post that Marcus Shaver made was done by Boise State. It looked like, he's got the all the Boise State photos and all that stuff. I mean, it looks pretty, it looked like Boise State helped him put that statement out. And if you looked at Emmanuel Akot's, again, it could just be me and, reading too much into stuff, but his was done here. And if you look in the corner, it was made by somebody called 336 Edits. It was not made by Boise State. So take with that what you want, but I don't think Boise State would be making out a graphic for somebody entering the transfer portal. But what do you think, Bronco Nation? Let us know what you guys feel about this, Bronco Nation. We got 35 of you or whatever on the various channels, right now watching this. Do you think that Emmanuel Akot would be welcome back? Do you want him back if he is looking to see if there's a better option for him? I don't know, Johnny. I think that'd be a really interesting thing. Like you said, he'd sure have to craft a statement. He'd try to say all the right things. That he wasn't leaving, like you said. But I think there's a portion of the fan base that says, "Good luck to you, man. Take a hike." Like you said, it's a very weird thing where you're going to see what's out there. A lot of times, guys think about it if the coach leaves or something. But if there's not much turnover on the coaching staff or anything, all of a sudden you're openly saying that you're looking to see what else is out there. I mean, if this was private or something,
that's a captain of the team next year. E-Man and Shaver are probably your captains, and I'll throw Max in there. Probably a tri-captain of those three players, maybe even Mladen if he comes back, right? Like, I mean, I think they check off a lot of back boxes for E-Man to play at this program and still be happy. And I don't know, you tell me, man, what type of fit would he be in the ACC, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12? I mean, that's where he's looking, right? I mean, what do you think he would bring to a powerhouse basketball program? Is he going to be willing to come off the bench?
Yeah, I mean, you would assume he's only doing this to find a bigger, higher profile, like you said, live the charter plane life and the better gear and the better meals and be on ESPN every game. But I mean, is he starting and scoring 15 a game at Kansas next year? I mean, no. I mean, is he starting? There'd be a lot of Power 5 schools, I hate to say it, where I'm not sure he's even a starter. And if he is, I don't know if he's a, 25-minute, 15-point guy. I mean, I don't know if his stock is necessarily helped being, a lower output guy at a bigger school, but maybe that's what he's looking for his final college experience. He just wants that opportunity to, like you said, be wined and dined. And maybe he just wants to see in the transfer portal what kind of interest he has, what kind of schools reach out to him. I told you from the start, Johnny, I had him lowest on my list to return of the three. I thought he was the least likely to return, but I just thought it was because he was going pro. I never really put the transfer portal thought much into it.
Shaver didn't. Shaver had the same deal. He didn't say, "Oh, by the way, I'm also going in the portal," but there's a pretty good chance I'll still come back to Boise State. Shaver's saying, "I'm going to try to go pro. If I don't go pro, if I don't get what I like there, I'm coming back and I'm going to be the captain of the Boise State Broncos, and we're going to try to win another Mountain West title."
Or now he sees E-Man's post and he goes, maybe that's not a bad idea. See what else is out there. The problem is the transfer portal itself is not technically public, but there are like Twitter accounts and people that have access to the portal, and it gets out if you get in the portal. So it's one thing if he could try to secretly do this, but once it's public that you're going in the portal, it'd be very interesting if he did decide to come back. I would assume he's gone. I'll just say that. I don't think he's coming back. You don't enter the transfer portal, but you have to hope he finds, if he is transferring to another school. I mean, what happens if he ends up at San Diego State, or what happens if he ends up at another, group of five, so to speak, school, or even a Mountain West school? Then there'd be a lot of people going, okay, what's going on here? So you have to assume that he's only doing this so he can find a Power 5 school. Big Wade says he transferred once, now twice. Maybe we should be looking elsewhere. Oliver Queen saying that he should just stay with the Broncos. It's his best option. Somebody else was asking that since he can't find it now, but since he transferred twice, how is he eligible? He's graduating. He'll either graduate this spring or he's already graduated, so that makes him eligible at the second school. But Johnny, I saw there's already 1,000 players or something in the transfer portal. Like Boise State got Eman, they got Shaver, they got Abu Kijab. Like I've seen a lot of doom and gloom from some Boise State fans, but I think this coaching staff has shown they can go in the portal and get some quality players. And oh, by the way, those guys don't have to sit out now. You can go pluck the 8th best player from Kansas or the 7th best player from USC or whatever, and they can play right away next year and fill the spot.
And I'm sure they're keeping those options open. You know, E-Man, you're keeping yours options open. Great. Okay. Well, we're going to keep our options open too. And maybe they find some player that they like and they have to say, E-Man, sorry, man, we can't sit around in the corner waiting for you to come ask us to dance again. And we found somebody else that wants to dance with us and we want to dance with them too. So, you know, hopefully we're dancing in March again next year with a new partner. Sure. But it's, you know, we wanted, or a lot of people wanted, student athletes to have all this freedom, and they have it now, and that's great. I still support that, but there is a wake of stuff. It is never going to be squeaky clean. There's issues. There's going to be problems with any type of system you lay in place, and this is just one of those. And you know, for whatever reason, maybe the kid doesn't want to live in Boise anymore. You know, maybe he wants to go back to Arizona. Maybe he wants to get closer to wherever he was from in Canada, or he wants to play at a Northeast school, or he wants to go to the Big Ten. Like, you know, good for him if he wants to do that, but it's a bad situation if you're Boise State and that coaching staff, because like, really, this wasn't the perfect fit for you. Like, we got a good thing going with you. We got a good thing going.
They opened Pandora's box a little bit because it is. You want to give the players options. It does help the schools to be able to bring guys in right away that don't have to sit out. But you have all kinds of now back channeling and guys, coaches saying, hey, if you were in the portal, we would probably be interested. And then the next day the guy goes in the portal. You saw LSU lost all 13 of their players into the transfer portal. LSU does not have a scholarship player on their roster. They've added 2 players that are coming with the previous coach from Murray State. But I don't know how you handle. I don't know how you do this because, as I mentioned, already 1,000 players. There's 357 or something, 352 Division I teams.
358.
Over 1,000 players in the transfer portal. So on average, 3 scholarship players per team are transferring
every year.
And it's free agency, and it's what can you give me and what's better, and it is. And it's E-Man's right. He wants to see if he can get something better. That's fine. But as you said, it's Boise State's right to say, if we find somebody else before you make a decision, good luck. And I do wonder if he tries to come back, what the fallout would be, what the
statement.
Would the fans embrace him and act like nothing happened, or would there be a portion of fans that were unhappy with him? Derek says, regardless of where he lands, he's a Bronco legend forever. Can't wait to see him back in Boise when the 2022 team is honored 10 years from now. And he did a lot of good things for this program, obviously, but this is might be ending a way that we didn't expect, Johnny. You'll just we'll say that. Hey, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. They make business insurance easy. If you're starting a business, or if you already own a business. I know a lot of business owners out there. Give them a call. They can give you a better rate. You think you have good insurance for your business? United Commercial Insurance can help lower your business insurance rates. They're a local company, but they can write policies in 44 states across the country. So check them out, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Transportation compliance service. If you're looking for a new career change, a fresh start, the trucking industry is booming right now. More than 1,000 people a day are deciding to get into the trucking industry, and TCS is helping a lot of them. They can help you get signed up, get your permits, get whatever you need, and help you get out on the road. So check them out, transcompservice.com. And Boise Dentistry Co. Those are my kids on the screen there.
Oh, nice, man.
If you don't like going to the dentist, Dr. Meinert makes it easy for you. He'll talk Boise State with you while he's working on your teeth. Big BSU fan. You can see the locations on the screen there. Boise Dentistry Co., family dentistry and wellness. So check them out, BoiseDentistryCo.com. And our whole family, myself included, has made the switch. So if you're looking for a dentist or a new dentist, check out BoiseDentistryCo.com. Okay, Johnny, I do want to talk Austin Bolt, because he's making his we got a few minutes left here. Yep. He is scheduled after practice today to make his media debut with the media here in Boise. He's been on the roster for a couple years now. He redshirted. He played in a couple games. We saw him get out there last year, I believe, for like one deep pass that he almost should have caught and dropped it at the end zone. But there's been nobody more hyped up, by media, by fans, by everybody the last couple of years in terms of local products than Austin Bolt. He was obviously the Gatorade Player of the Year in football and basketball, the first player ever to do that his senior year of high school. You won all kind of state awards, was, the top athlete in the state, so to speak. And I think a lot of people thought he was going to come to Boise State, make an immediate impact. It just hasn't happened. They've tried him at tight end. They even tried him at defensive line. I know we talked about it a little bit last week, Johnny, but he's finally talking today, Austin Bolt, and it does sound.
Is he super colorful, or do you think he's going to be more reserved today when he meets with the media here in a few hours? What do you think his personality is going to be like, Raines?
I would say pretty tame. I don't expect anything crazy. Sometimes we get guys for the first time and they're great, and then we're like, why'd they make us wait 3 years for that? He was awesome. He was fine.
Yeah.
Like, what? Come on. But talking to him a couple times back when I was at the Idaho Press, and he won some awards for us there. We had him at as one of our big winners for our dinner. Good guy, but I don't expect him to call anybody out for not playing or make any big statements or anything like that. I mean, he's going to be pretty reserved, but it does sound like, Johnny, that he may finally be a guy that's ready to make an impact on this team this year.
I just don't know if I can buy that. Kent Riddle was telling that to us last year. Remember, BJ? Remember the tight end coach last year, Kent Riddle, saying, no, he's going to be a factor. We're going to use him. Everybody says that. And then all of a sudden he gets in on a punt block situation, or he's running down on a kickoff where it's another touchback where he doesn't even get a chance to tackle somebody. So I want to see where he's going to fit in with this receiving core. He's not wearing the defensive jersey anymore, working out with the pass rushers. Remember that last year? We were at the practice. We're like, why is Austin Bolt on defense, man? I think he's going to get in the rotation. I'm going to ask Khalil Shakir, little name drop. He's coming on Idaho Sports Talk today. I can't wait to ask Khalil Shakir if Austin Bolt is, where he is as far as proximity of really being in with the top 4 or 5 rotation receivers, or if he still has a ways to go. I don't know. I mean, I hope we see him. I've been hearing Austin Bolt stories from John Patrick, my program director, since I took this job. He played like juniors and all the way through with JP's kid. So JP's been watching Austin Bolt play football since he was like 8, right? He wants to see this kid on the blue too, like so many folks, football fans in the Treasure Valley who watched their sons play against Austin Bolt in high school, and they read the clippings and whatnot, and everybody wants to see this kid play because now they're like unicorns now, dude. Kids who played high school football in this valley who can come be, let's say, a very productive or maybe even a star player at Boise State. Right now, Jonah Dolmas, I think, is the one you have on the roster. Juku, too. OJ at left tackle. But they're rare. This team 20 years ago was like built on Idaho kids, and you just don't see him as much anymore. And Austin Bolt, certainly in my time here, has had more hype than any other high school kid from this area. We all want to see him play. Everybody constantly tells us at press conferences he's the fastest dude on the team, period, bar none. He's the fastest guy on the team. Everybody says that. I want to see them utilize that speed, and it'll be really interesting. That's going to be a packed presser today, BJ. I don't think anybody who covers this team on the regular is going to miss Bolt today.
ShopRidleys.com, Ridley's Family Markets, 13 Idaho locations. Check them out. The at-home shopping, the Skip app, all that great stuff. ShopRidleys.com, the Blue and Orange Store.com, the Blue and Orange Store right there at Boise Town Square Mall. Go in and get your new Boise State gear for the spring game on Saturday, or you can get it online, the Blue and Orange Store.com. Johnny, appreciate your time this week, man. Fun times. Sign up for that golf tournament, BroncoNationNews.com as well. We'll see you down there for Austin Bolt. We got the spring game on Saturday, so happy Monday, man. Happy national title game day, and open with the Mariners on Thursday, man. So a lot going on. It's been fun. Appreciate it, man.
You more excited for the Masters on Thursday or opening day baseball on Thursday?
I'm a huge Tiger fan, so I'm pretty excited if he plays, but definitely Cardinals opening day for sure.
Me too. Opening day. Go Mariners. Thanks,
All
BJ.
right, take care, man. We'll be listening 3 to 6 today. He said Khalil Shakir's coming on. That'll be 95.3 FM, 1350 AM, KTIK.com, the KTIK app. All the ways to listen to JP, Prater, and Johnny. So there it is, Prater in the ballgame. Have a great Monday, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News.